Have you ever wondered how someone living with chronic pain could turn that challenge into a thriving online yoga business? Well, this week's guest is Susanne Sharrad, and she did exactly that. She's built a business around helping others heal through yoga, mindfulness, and connection. I'm Gail Bates, and welcome to my channel. This is where I share weekly interviews with entrepreneurs from around the world. And this channel is kind of your go-to resource for learning from other entrepreneurs and how they build a thriving business from home. And they build it with ease, purpose, and clarity. And so in my interviews, you're going to find real talk and practical tips on work-life balance, accountability, and productivity. That's what we kind of talk about. Plus, I will add some insights from my Read Along with Entrepreneurs book review series, where I break down powerful books that really help you grow. So I want you to hit that subscribe button if you like, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. So in this inspiring conversation with Susanne, you're going to learn how she started small and built powerful daily habits that changed her life. And she reminds us that creating a new routine just doesn't have to be overwhelming. Just start with just 1 minute a day and you just build from there. So make sure you listen for that tip right in the beginning of this interview, because you're going to learn how her walking routine, and I just love the way she did this, just starts by laying out her walking clothes the night before, because that's what makes consistency effortless. Now, you're also going to learn about her 3-step mindfulness technique, which helps her overcome challenges. And we talk a lot about challenges in all my interviews, and everybody looks at them differently. But Susanne works with her challenges with 3 words: awareness, observation, and gratitude. She says you can just shift your energy instantly with these 3 words. And so it's basically, she says, calm your mind with awareness, notice what's happening without judgment, just observe, and just bring yourself back to gratitude. Really pay attention to that. I think it's very powerful. And also look for how Susanne grew her yoga business online through video, email marketing, and collaboration. And what I love about Susanne in this interview is that she just really didn't know how to do things. And she just got in front of the camera and she reached out to people. And that's what it takes being an entrepreneur. So if you've ever felt stuck or overwhelmed building your business, Susanne's story will remind you that growth begins with small, intentional steps. So watch now and be inspired to create calm, confidence, and connection in your own journey. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the series, Entrepreneurs Who Work From Home today. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and I'm really excited to have you share all of your great tips that you have as a yoga instructor. And I always love to kick it off with talking a little bit about daily routine and productivity and what a typical day looks like for you. And talk to me a little bit about how that works for you as far as your structure. And I think you're going to share with us your yoga movement as well. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, that's such a great question. And I thought about starting that answer off with, I would have never thought that I would have became a yoga teacher because I actually hated to exercise. I was the young girl in school that got picked last at the softball team and never really thought I was very athletic, although I liked dance and movement. And then when I started having some physical challenges in my 50s, I had to learn how to change my life. And a couple of things that I did, I started reading some books. I read Habit Stacking and Atomic Habits. Mm-hmm. They were books that really changed my life to help me to get a routine and just make it a habit. So the teachings are start easy, start with something that would be 1 minute out of your day, stack things together. Like if you want to start walking in the morning, which is what I decided I'm going to do, you need an accountability buddy. I decided my dog was just perfect. Yeah. And so I started laying my walking clothes out in the bathroom. And first thing, I'd get up in the morning, and I still do this. I've been doing this now for quite a few years. I get up, I put my dog outside. He's waiting for me, ready to go. And I put my tennis shoes on, my walking clothes on. I check my email really fast. I grab my phone and I'm out the door. So if any of your viewers are having a struggle with getting into a routine, setting a morning routine is a really powerful way of starting your day. And I think walking outside when the sun's coming up and getting fresh air, it's a beautiful way to start your day and think about just your intentions. And I always start my intentions with love and gratitude. How can I open my heart to the world today and share my knowledge and what I know? And those are always been really great goals for me. So
I love it. I love it. I'm similar. I love to get up and go walking as well. But I love the way you lay out your clothes the night before so that everything's ready to go the next morning. That is really something I don't do, but I think it's something, I think it's encouraging when you know everything's organized for you to just step out that door. And it is, to me, it is one of the simplest ways to exercise, isn't it? I mean, instead of having to go to a gym, get in the car and drive or whatever, just simply just stepping out your front door is a beautiful way to start the morning, and especially setting up as a morning routine. So I really love that. And tell me a little bit about, now as a yoga instructor, let's talk a little bit about your workspaces, because I'm sure you have these different workspaces. And do you work only online, or do you also work in a space where you have clients?
Well, I used to work in a space with one-on-one with clients and in a group at a local gym. But about, I guess, maybe a couple of years ago, something came up where I just couldn't make that drive anymore. And I decided to take a break from it and start online. I'm solely online now. So I do have a small yoga studio in my home. It's kind of one of my bedrooms that I've made into my studio space. And I have a desk in that room in the corner, and I have my laptop there. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So then how do you do it? Do you do it through Zoom? What kind of video? How do you work that, especially doing your yoga positions? And do you use your phone or do you use your computer? How does that work?
Yeah, so I actually use my computer. I like to see my clients on a bigger screen. And I also like using a webcam. I've just found that it has, I don't know, a better picture than my phone, I think. It's just easier to control. And I'm a person that likes to use my keyboard afterwards. I upload the videos onto YouTube for a replay for my clients. So it took me a little while to get it all set up. There was some techie frustrations with the audio. But I got it all figured out, and it's just really smooth and it works perfect. And I teach 5 days a week, live classes on Zoom with my clients, and they love it because I tell them, and I talk about this. You could go do exercise videos on YouTube and work out in your living room, and it can be an inspiration and it can be really great. But you don't have that personalization of, good morning, Mary. How's your back doing today? Did the pose that I gave you yesterday, did it help you? What kind of modifications do you need? Deidre, you need to get the hips further back than where you're standing right now, and your legs aren't aligned correctly. And so
that's marvelous. You can do all that in your own home, in your own room. I love it. It's really fantastic. Okay, I'm going to switch things up a little bit because this is a business that you have. Talk to me a little bit about, I know there are 5 main areas that are really consistently move the needle for you in your business. We call them revenue generating activities. So talk to me a little bit about those 5 main areas that really work for you.
Yes, that's such a good question. And when I decided that I was going to have an online business, the first thing that I felt like I really needed to do was get good on video, because there is a lot of competition out there online. And if you struggle with your message, you're unsure what you're selling, or you don't feel confident in front of the camera, I just felt like I needed to have a coach to help me. And I found an amazing woman that I've worked with for quite a few years now. She's just excellent. She's really helped me hone in on my message, because I have a book club in my group, and I have a health and wellness, and she's like, you are a yoga teacher. You are marketing yoga. You can do all these other things, but you need to be very specific and not confuse the public exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so that was a really good tip. So when I go out and spread my message, I talk 90% about yoga poses, how it can physically help you.
Right.
And so I think video marketing, if you feel comfortable in front of being in front of a camera, is excellent.
Yeah.
And even not, I think you need to have a really powerful message, even a written message. How
Right.
you put your advertisement together and your social media post, how you speak to the public.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the first thing. And then, as she said, now once you've gotten really good at that, now you're ready to go into email marketing, and you need to bring in lots of potential clients into your database. And she turned me on to bundles, which I had never done a bundle. I just did my first series of bundles like 4 months ago. I did 4 bundles, and I got 500 email leads. I was so excited. I have a funnel now, and my funnel is get my freebie, sign up here, give me your email. And now I have a whole list of email people to market to, and I had no idea what to say. It's always scary to push that send button. So she recommended someone that I follow that has templates for email marketing, and it just makes it so much simpler. And those are proven emails. She teaches email marketing. Her messages, people have to like you, they have to trust you, they have to follow you before they buy from you. And you really need to know how to talk to them. So that was video marketing, email marketing, how you speak to the public via social media.
Right.
And the next one is actually, I love to network, collaboration. I mean, you and I met that way. So we can learn so much from other people, and we feel so isolated sometimes. Your client base, I think they work at home, and we can just feel so isolated and have overwhelmed from techie problems. And so collaboration, to me, networking is amazing. Not only to get together with a community that you have to find your tribe, but not only just to get together with them, as far as I may know someone I can refer to you, and you may know someone you can refer to me, but just to grow knowledge-wise about business, about marketing, about spirituality, if that's your thing, health and wellness, whatever that is. Just whatever brings you.
Learn from each other, don't we? We really do. Yes. And that's why networking is so important, isn't it? Yeah. So, I mean, your 5 focus areas, I love what you talk about: your video, your email marketing, your collaborations that have been so successful in working with bundles. And I know that is a great way. I have actually experienced that myself. And so for the other entrepreneurs that are listening to this today, how would you go about finding out about bundles? Maybe give them a few more little details on how you did that.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you the biggie name that I was told by my coach. Her name is Kat Griffin, and she is extremely well known in the bundle world. As a matter of fact, she teaches, I think for $99, maybe you can buy her course, and she teaches you totally how to do bundles, or even especially how to host them. Now, that's where you're really getting up there, hosting your own summits and bundles. But a bundle basically is, say, for example, I'm looking at doing a Black Friday bundle with her. And there's like 40 or 50 other coaches that also have an offer. And she puts it all into like a catalog, sort of.
Yeah.
And everyone is obligated to promote it twice to their email database.
Right.
So you put an image. I'll have an image. I'm on my Black Friday special. I usually run like $1 special. Come into my 30-day course for $1 and just try it out.
Yeah.
And then they click the picture. It takes them to tells them what they're going to get. They're going to get a free video series usually of some type. Learn some yoga poses,
Right.
and click the button. Sign up for this thing. Now I have their email, and then it takes them to a thank you page where you can do an upsell, and that's where I have my dollar offer. So as a matter of fact, when we get to the freebies at the end, I'll be sharing exactly one of my promos, my freebies that I did in a bundle. So it'll give your viewers an idea if they want to check that out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and I'm so grateful for you to explain that in detail, because a lot of times we just say to people, "Oh, you should do bundles, or you should do this," but people don't know where to start with that. And I really appreciate that, and I'm sure my viewers will appreciate learning how you've done and how it's been so successful for you.
Yeah.
Okay, my dear. Let's talk a little bit now about overcoming some challenges in life. I mean, as entrepreneurs, we face so many different challenges, and we have dips in our business, and sometimes it's hard for us to stay focused. So what are some of the challenges that you have experienced in your business, and talk a little bit about how you overcome them?
Well, I'll tell you, I think techie challenges for me probably has been the biggest thing. And I would imagine a lot of your audience would agree.
Yeah.
We get up against a wall, against something that just doesn't work, and we have to make it work. And we could spend days on it and just wringing your hands and feeling so frustrated.
That is so true. Yeah.
Yes. You also have we're going to talk, I think, a little bit about one of my favorite books. And I guess I'll bring that up at this time because this is an amazing book that really gives you a technique to use to overcome, they call it samskaras, which is a yoga term, but it's basically when you push your feelings down and you don't acknowledge them. And we've been doing it our whole lives. So the more that you can release this and let it go, the more joy and just the more joy and happiness you live. And the more you're able to live in the moment. Yoga does this also, too. It teaches you how to relax the mind and breathe, and art does it. There's a lot of different, anytime you're out of your mind and into your project is a mindfulness exercise.
Yeah.
And so
what is the book that you're referring to?
Yes. So the book's called Living Untethered, Beyond the Human Predicament. And at the end of the book, the author gives a beautiful example of these samskaras, these things that we push down. We feel so frustrated. For example, maybe you're working on something techie and it's, you're 3-4 days into it and you can't make it happen. You look down into your soul, into your spirit, and you acknowledge it. All you need is an awareness. I see you down there. I see you frustration. It's okay. Let me touch you. Let me see how it feels. And you just sit with it, and it starts to dissolve. And this is with anything in life. It can be with relationships, with work, with our business. And I'll just tell one really quick story too, because I've taught mindfulness. It's a beautiful technique to practice. And the simplest way, a lot of people think it's all, humming and meditation, and it certainly can be that. But the best way that I explain mindfulness, and this book was also about mindfulness practices too, is so I live kind of by a big lake. And as soon as I leave my subdivision, I have to go over this big bridge to get to the little town on the other side. Well, as soon as I left my subdivision, boom, traffic was backed up. There must have been an accident on the other side of the bridge. And I was on my way to the gym to go teach yoga classes. And used to back then, before I knew these techniques, I would start to feel panicky. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for work, And with mindfulness, it's a 3-step process. Step 1 is awareness, just becoming aware. How am I feeling? What am I thinking? What's going on? Am I gripping the steering wheel? Am I starting to shallow breathe? Am I clenching my teeth? What physically is going on? And then step 2 is to be an observer. So I always kind of like to think of I'm a bird and I fly up in a tree and I'm just going to look down on myself without any judgment and just notice. And when you start to become aware and you start to be the observer of yourself, it starts to dissipate and you start to calm down, and then you can shift into gratitude. So it takes practice, but there I was sitting there and I was like, well, I'm going to practice this mindfulness technique and I'm going to start thinking about how sweet my little grandson is. He's such a cute little boy. And his big smile, he just brightens my life, and so I wasn't stressed in traffic at all anymore. And I think that we as business people, especially, can really learn a lot from slowing down, becoming mindful of how we react, not only to stuff in business, but to everything. It just brings more joy and calm and peace in your life.
Thank you for that. I love that. And I know that my viewers will love that too. Being mindful in today's world is so important. And especially, I love the way you shared how, you can take that little exercise, those 3 little steps, and just use them at any given moment that you're faced with something that's not, in your world, and that happens all the time. I mean, I always talk about we have to be flexible in business because one minute we're going this way and the next minute, all of a sudden we have to do a complete shift to the opposite way for some reason, whatever happens. So having a little exercise like that in your toolbox, I think is so important. So I know that my viewers are really going to love that. Thanks so much for that. So you talk about being techie, and I know even if you're a techie guru, there's always challenges with tech, right? But what are some favorite tools, technology tools that you are using today? Can you share a little bit of that with us?
Yes. Well, I think the advent of ChatGPT is phenomenal. We probably all use it. Everyone can agree. Yeah. So if you're not using that, oh my goodness, you are missing out, really. It's like having your professional secretary sitting there next to you on how you're going to speak to the world. So it really can put your thoughts into beautiful words that people can really resonate with. And it also, for me, helps me get even more clear on my message and just everything that I do in business. So ChatGPT definitely is at the top. Canva, I'm a big visual person. And probably I would imagine most of your readers work in Canva, but if you've not ever tried that, it's an amazing program that you can design all of your pictures for all of your visuals. And and Kartra. I have Kartra actually is what I use. It's kind of difficult to learn. My coach actually taught it to me.
Yeah, but that I have not heard of Kartra.
Yeah, so Kartra is kind of an all-encompassing program. I have my membership portal there for my yoga community. So what that looks like, when people sign up into my community, I have a whole back end for them. I have welcome videos. I have videos on the props that they're going to need for the exercise classes. I hold the calendar is there. So anytime I make changes, I make sure it's uploaded in the portal for them. All of the replays, well, we do a month's worth of replays for the exercise classes. So if they miss, and then we have a health and wellness, we have that on Sunday nights. I have all those replays. So it holds all of your membership data stuff. It also holds all of the funnels. So what I was talking about when I did the bundles. And another great thing is it holds all of your email database, which a lot of programs you have to pay extra. You might have to pay over here for this and over here for that and So that's why my coach said, just get Cartwrights all in one.
Wow.
And I can market to my email database. I have different email groups for different things that I do. And I'll just tell you one inspiring thing really quick. The lady that I follow for email marketing, I went to her training a few days ago, as she does like a monthly training. And she's like, oh, I'm just a few emails shy of 15,000. And I decided last month, well, I'm going to take a vacation. And so I'm going to design a quick little ebook or whatever. And she, boom, sent it out to her 15,000 people, made enough money to take the whole month off. And she went to Europe. So I think large email databases, I think it's really could be potentially big business. She's like, that is your real estate. That is your gold,
Right.
because you own that. So I didn't really, I don't think appreciate so much and really understand how email marketing works. But now that I do, I wished I had jumped on that a little bit sooner. So if you guys are not looking into the email marketing, it's really, really big. So.
And then talk to me a little bit about this hypernatural. What is that about?
Well, hypernatural, actually, you can do faceless reels. It's kind of, in a way, for the yoga industry, I don't think it's quite advanced enough because AI doesn't know how to put bodies and poses together. You see sometimes someone with 5 fingers type of thing. But if you want to do faceless video marketing, it's really a great software program. You know how you see the reels with like the abominable snowman monster or the monkey guy, you know, all the different animal characters. And I mean, they're starting to come out with the animals can talk. And, you know, I think TikTok maybe got sold, I believe I heard. So things might be changing, but that's a really big industry to make 30, 60-second faceless.
Susanne, how do you use it?
Well, I got Hypernatural because I wanted to do some yoga things, yoga educational type stuff. So, for example, I work with women 40 plus, and you know, it might be a woman, oh, getting out of the car. Oh, she's got a twinge in her back. Oh, the knee's hurting, getting out of the tub. Do you have balance? And then at the end of the video, it would be, you know, join my yoga community. So it's just another way of doing a reel. If you don't want to be on video, it's a great way to, reels are fun and they're easy and they're fast. And if you get really good at it and you enjoy doing them, then you can get paid for having, you know, views and stuff. I think even YouTube does that as well. So just another way that you could segue out your business and do something a little different.
I hadn't heard of Hypernatural, so I'm sure my viewers will be interested in that as well. But, you know, as you say, tech tools are so important for us as home-based entrepreneurs, right? But they do help us run our business pretty efficiently if we really if we choose the right ones. And I think it sounds to me like you've really found the right ones for you with your yoga business, which is really exciting when you find. Now, I really enjoy collaboration, and I'm so glad that you and I connected. So talk to me a little about, what does that look like for you? How do you stay connected? What type of networking do you use? I know you work with one specific group. I think it's called the Referral Business Builders. Tell us more about that.
So I am one of the leaders in Referral Business Builders. I love to collaborate with other business owners, and right now I'm hosting once a month, but I'm working towards going twice a month. And I taught how I did bundles, and it wasn't so much I want to sell you anything. It's like, hey, this is working for me, and I'm just going to open my back door to my membership and show you what it looks like and what's working for you, because then I get to know you on a deeper level. And next month, when I go to a cocktail party, someone may say something that triggers me. Oh my gosh, I can refer you to this person because I know them. I've become friends with them. I've networked with them. You know, we like to refer people that we kind of know and know about their programs a bit. And same thing for myself. I've gotten quite a few clients from them. So, and then the collaboration. Well, I just like to reach out to people and professionals, especially health and wellness professionals. I'm always looking for health and wellness professionals that aren't in direct competition with me. So it may be, for me, it might be someone that specializes in working with women that have fibromyalgia, because I do a lot of pain, helping women come out of pain and manage pain with yoga. And so they may have a client base, and, you know, yoga is great for that. And so I'll interview them. We'll get on a Zoom call just like you and I are today, and see if we're a good fit. I want to interview. I want to bring value into my community, educate the women that follow me about things that I'm not an expert in, and then I'm going to promote you. So I'm going to let them know about the interview, and maybe we want to collaborate, and you'll interview me, and we can switch off and share our customer base. And one new idea, I'll just tell you real quick. This might be a thought for people. I recently collaborated with someone that had way more of a following than me, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do to make it of interest to her? You know, and then I realized, oh, she's a best-selling author. She has a book on Amazon, several books. And in my yoga group, we read. And so we love to read and become educated about health and wellness topics. So I told her, what if we read your book in my yoga community? And then after the 4 weeks was up, you could come and be a guest that following day and do a Q&A. And for every review on the book that you get, we'll put the names in a bucket and we'll do a drawing and have a giveaway. And she's like, I love that idea. She's like, my VA has been telling me, why don't we have a book club in our community? And I told her, we just don't have time. She said, oh, yes, I'll definitely promote that. And I have lots of clients that would love to come do that. So they're going to come into my community for that $1. We're going to read the book, and they may love to stay and do yoga with me. So there's lots of opportunities when you collaborate with other people in your industry, but who don't specifically directly compete with you. You know, you want to look at, can we share customer bases type thing. So.
Yeah, no, that is a great way. And collaboration and networking like that, it opens up everybody's mind, and the connections that happen. It's you never know how you're going. I mean, like you and I, we don't even know each other, but we found each other in a group, and I put the word out, and you said, I would love to share more about my business, and that just happens, you know. So it's so important. I love the way you described that. That's great. Okay, I'm going to move now towards, and I know you're great at this, and that is goal setting. So what goals are you working on now, and how do you track your goals? What's your little process for achieving your goals?
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question too, because we definitely want to do more of what works and less of what doesn't.
Yeah.
And I figured, well, the only way to do that is to get out some type of a graph and start tracking stuff. How many customers did I get from that bundle? How many new followers did I get?
Right.
Versus how many people are coming into my community in my networking with referral business builders. And there were some things I can't remember. I'm sure there were some things I was doing that I gave up. So I decided I need to really focus in on just a couple things that are really successful and just keep doing those over and over, like with the email marketing. That has been really successful for me too. And so once you come to a point where you can start tracking and figuring out what's working for you, then quit doing everything that doesn't work and keep doing more of what does work. And when you start doing that, I think your goals become, for me, pretty clear. I think my biggest goal is always what's going to bring me joy and happiness. And this is why I'm doing this online yoga business. It improves my health and improves my life. And if it's something that's making you unhappy and it's stressing you out and it's, sometimes you need to shift to a different direction and figure out what that would be. So
I think it's so true for entrepreneurs because we can, pursue those bright, shiny objects, right? So many different ways and go, oh, well, this isn't working. Oh, maybe I'll go over here and do this over here. And that isn't working. And I think it's kind of grounding yourself when you have a goals process of how you work through and track where you're at and to know that you are on track and you are going to hit it. Do you have a timeline that you work on with your goals?
Well, I kind of like to look at my industry in a yearly cycle. So Black Friday is really big for all of us online.
Yeah.
For yoga, the Christmas holidays, not so much, but New Year's is really big.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to, get healthy and start exercising, maybe lose weight.
Yeah.
So I kind of also look too, like when I taught at the gym, the summers were kind of slow. Kids are off school, people are on vacation. So that's a good time for me to work on, designing my bundles and my funnels and how am I going to advertise for Black Friday. And you're a coach that does goals. So
yeah. I mean, I'm big on 90-day goals. I also start the year with a big yearly goal. I feel that you can accomplish a lot in 90 days. I have a whole goal setting method where you actually sit down and brainstorm. And then you come up with some, what I call action steps that you can refer back to every day so you can track your progress as you move along. So, yeah, it's fascinating. Everybody looks at goals a little differently. And that's why I always love to ask this question. And, like for you, as you said, you look at the high paying areas of the year that are really going to pay off for you to help you grow your business, right? So I think that's also important for most entrepreneurs, that have a business and are selling products or services. So yes, goal setting is a whole nother kettle of fish and everybody does it differently. But in the end, we get where we need to go, right?
I will say one thing. I recently took how to read your email marketing numbers. It was like a metrics class. And I thought, wow, I'm not that good at math, but I think I need to take that because I think I need to really kind of have an understanding of how to be able to look at what's working in my email marketing and what's not. Yeah. And I was telling someone about taking this class, and it was another business owner, and he said, oh, that just sounds like so much techie math. I just wouldn't be able to do that. I'd probably have to hire someone to look at all that data. And I thought to myself, well, I think when you run a business, you kind of need to know all the stuff yourself. Even if you don't do all that work, it's good to be educated. Yeah. Because just because you hire someone doesn't mean that they're gonna know and that they're gonna give you what you need. Unless you've worked with them and you build a relationship and their strategies are proven strategies, because there's people out there on the internet that don't have proven strategies, right? We want to follow people that do and can help us to grow our business. So I just thought I would bring that up because I think it's good to do something way out of the normal sometimes, to look at your numbers and try to understand maybe.
And that's about, which is one of the questions I love to ask is how do you continue to grow in your business? What is your personal development goals? What are the things that really work for you in continuing to grow in your business?
Well, that's a great question because I think for all of us, we can continue learning and learning, really specializing deeper in what we do. So, I'm a yoga teacher. We breathe, we move, we stretch. But I'm also someone who struggled with chronic pain. And recently I found an amazing yogi to follow who is a yogi master in pain, helping people. He has testimonials that he's helped people overcome and get into remission on fibromyalgia with lupus. Just amazing, more than an average yoga teacher. Yoga teachers aren't really trained on getting people out of long-term chronic pain. So I've decided that I'm going to get into his academy and get certified by him. So, and I've already got, I think, 6 clients signed up that want to come along and kind of do the lower tier price while I go through this and learn and have him show me. And, so sometimes, sometimes if you want to deepen what you're doing in your career, you'll find ways to make it happen if you're dedicated and you want to work towards it. So offering our clients more so that we have less competition, and we just want people to be referred to us, right? Instead of having to always chase after the clients.
I know you're a big follower of Dan Sullivan, and you talk about a book called Who, Not How. Tell me a little bit why you would recommend that book.
Yeah, that was a great book. And it was not how can I be successful? How can I build my business? But who can help me? And it's all about connecting. One of the stories in there was a very wealthy businessman. I can't remember, something about his roof, or there was some kind of house repair or something. And he was just adamant that he wasn't going to pay the $1,000 or whatever to have it repaired. So he went up on that house and he fell off the ladder and hurt his back, and he was out of work for, I don't know, a month or whatever. So really it was all about, don't spend all of your time doing something that you haven't really learned, that's going to take you a long time to figure out. Like, don't build your own website if you can hire someone to do that, or, specialize and do what you do and get better at it and make more money at that thing. And it was just a really good book. Yeah.
Good. I know that my viewers are always looking for good book recommendations. Okay, self-care. Now, gosh, as a yoga instructor, you must really know exactly how we can take care of ourselves. But how do you take care of you in self-care in your business? What does that look like for you?
Well, that's a good question. I think first off, starting my day is I walk my dog for half an hour, and you always hear about, oh, it's so good to get outside and get the fresh air. And it certainly is, seeing the sun come up and connecting with nature. But there's even something, I think, deeper with walking that maybe your viewers may or may not know. We need lots of oxygen. We need oxygen to get way deep down into our body, into our core. Oxygen keeps us young, and it feeds every cell in our body. So when you brisk walk, you come home after half an hour and you're breathing really, really deep, deeper than you would in a yoga class, deeper maybe than an aerobics class. I don't know. I'm in my 60s, so I don't do aerobics anymore. But anyways, deep breathing is excellent. And stretching and, we have pain when our joints and ligaments get compressed. And we could just do a quick little exercise, and I'll show you right now how posture can really help you. So if you're not driving, if you're in a good place that you can do this really fast, come to the edge of your chair.
Okay, I'll do this with you. Okay.
Yeah. And so we're going to sit at the very edge of our chair, and we're going to pull our feet into the body a little bit. So feet in, and then we're going to push our feet into the ground and lift the body up. So you're going to extend your spine, sit nice and tall. Okay. And let's just close our eyes for a moment. Let's do a few deep breaths here. We'll take a nice slow inhale through the nose. Lots of oxygen in, and then slowly exhale through the mouth. And just let all the oxygen out. And we'll repeat a nice slow inhale through the nose. Big breath, and then slowly release all of the oxygen. We're just going to set our busy day aside. We're going to connect with our body. One more deep breath. Always bring everyone into the yoga class this way. This is our time to take care of ourselves. Slowly exhale. Breathe into any areas that feel stiff. When you slowly open your eyes, we're going to have a pretend string at the base of the spine. We're going to pull it low back, up into the mid back. Pull the string into the neck and out the head, and lift that string up, 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 and sit up super tall. Pull the shoulders back. Let's open the chest so we can have some deep breathing, and notice your core. So we want our core to hold us up instead of the low back, like when you round forward or with your shoulders. So I'm always telling my students, use your core to hold you up. And I'll tell you one more quick little thing that people don't know, but from the shoulder to across the collarbone to the other shoulder, down to the hip, across the other hip, and back up is our rectangular box. Right. And our rectangular box is our most important part of our body. It houses our heart, our lungs, our intestines. And when you're on your phone like this and you're rounding forward, it's like gravity's taking you down. It shortens your lifespan. But when you lift up and you open the chest and you breathe really deep, and you work on releasing stress. If you're at the grocery store and you're holding onto your cart and you're mad about something, you're rounding forward. And the more you can be aware of your posture through the whole day and how you're thinking and feeling. And
I am so with you on that.
That's kind of in a nutshell. I mean, I could tell you, I do yoga stretches in the morning, and I like to do legs up the wall. It's great for the circulation in the legs. There's a lot of different poses, but I think posture and
especially as entrepreneurs, we're in front of a computer a lot.
Yes.
A lot. I know I am, and I find myself I actually have a little Post-it note that says posture. And I look and I go, I have to sit up straight. It's so important for us as entrepreneurs. That was so cool. I just hope everybody else is going to do that exercise with us.
Thank you. Well, let me just say really quick, and you are absolutely correct about sitting at the desk. I have bursitis in both of my hips from sitting at a desk my whole life. And hip openers are amazing. So, you just bring your legs wide stance and come to the edge of the chair, and you can do half leg extensions to get the circulation going. There's a lot of great stretches you can do if you sit at a desk. And I have a 3-part mini series we'll talk about as my little freebie for high achieving business women that sit a lot, and some great stretches.
Great. Excellent. Okay. Last question before we move into you sharing all that with us is just what would be one piece of advice that you would, or maybe a lesson that you've learned that you'd like to share with other entrepreneurs who have a business like you from home?
Yeah. My biggest piece of advice is to love what you do, and don't get so caught up in, I think a lot of us, we start our business, we see make 10, 20,000 a month and make $1 million in a year. We have these big, huge goals. And I'm certainly a big believer in financial goals, but sometimes it may take a while to get there. You may have a lot to learn, right? You may need to really niche down on what your business is. Sometimes you're not really totally sure, and there's a big learning curve there. And then you have to also learn how to voice your message out to the public, and you may be shy in front of the camera. My coach used to always tell me, fail forward, fail forward, fail forward. And oh my gosh, I used to almost have a panic attack when I would go in front of the camera. So it was a really big learning process. And And everything that you do to increase your business, it takes time, and it takes a dedication, and there is a learning process. So don't get discouraged, and always do what you love. So if something starts feeling like, oh, it's just so heavy and it's making me unhappy, and there's always everything is figure outable. That's the next book I've been reading.
Right.
we can
Yes.
we can always figure out something that's we can shift and we can do, and we should make our business not that we not that how would you say that, not that you run your business, not that your business runs you, but that you run your business. So manage your time. I try to do all my marketing stuff by noon, and then after lunch I'm shifting gears and doing something totally different. So set a schedule. Don't get overwhelmed when things sit there and need to be done.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will come, and
Tomorrow's another day. Yeah. Great advice. Great advice. Okay, so now share with us about your practice, where people can connect with you, and we will put all of those links in the description below. But tell us a little bit more about your business and how that works for you.
All right. Well, so my business is called the Yoga and Movement Circle, and it's very affordable. I wanted women to be able to afford it. It's only $20 a month. And like I said, I teach 11 live classes a week on Zoom. I teach yoga standing, seated, and on the mat. And I also am a certified chair Pilates instructor too. So that little story about the rectangular box, Pilates is all about strengthening the core. And so we do core strengthening classes. I also teach beginner, easy strength weight training. We use dumbbells and stretchy bands for strength training, because as we get older, we tend to lose our bone density and our muscle density. So it's really important to do strength training. And then I'm actually going to start very soon with a pain, overcoming pain class. I'm getting ready to do that. Right. And I also have every Sunday night, we either do a health and wellness session or we rotate it with a book club. And our health and wellness sessions, sometimes we have guests come in. We had a guest that taught us tapping last week. And that was a lot of fun. And most of the time I host them. So it just depends on what the women want to talk about. We did hormone disruptors in your kitchen. We learned all about how bad plastic is for you. And one big thing I learned is using iron skillets. Iron makes your brain age. So this one doctor, I watched his interview, and he said he would send the blood work out, and if their iron came back, he'd be telling them, "You're using iron skillets, aren't you?" So just things like that. I'm not a weight loss instructor. I'm not a holistic food instructor. We just want to become educated, and we just want to know. We want to know how can we live longer and take care of ourselves better is kind of the theme.
I think that's wonderful. And I think a lot of women are out there that are looking for something like that as well. So now you're going to leave that. Tell us a little bit about where they can sign up for $1. What is that promo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to give your guest a special offer. You guys can come in for $1 for 30 days and just try it out and see if it's a good fit for you. If the schedule works for you. Most of the classes are in the morning. I do teach on Wednesday nights. Yeah. And then if you decide to stay, then it's $20 a month. Or if it's not a good fit, then you can cancel. Right. So that's why I wanted to put that out there. And I wanted to give your guest a second freebie too, because I know with entrepreneurs, a lot of the women they sit your viewers and client base. Yeah. And I do have that 3-part mini series, yoga for high achieving desk bound women. And it's 10-minute yoga stretches. It's emailed to you for 3 days. It's a 3-part series, and it's the first video is seated stretches. The second video is let's stand up and move. And then the third video is let's get on the mat. And I'm going to give you some hip openers that I talked about that are such great for your hips, because we get stiffness in our hips a lot from sitting. And
great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. We will definitely be putting that link in the description below as well. Susanne, thank you so much. I know this is going to be so much fun for people to watch, and I hope they do that little exercise that we did together, because it really is a great way to center yourself. Just like in the middle of the day, and you just need to just relax and go, just take a few breaths and close your eyes. I just love that. So I'm really excited for our viewers to be able to do that as well. So thank you again for being on the Entrepreneurs Who Work From Home series.
Thank you so much. It was such an honor to be here and to get to talk to your audience. So thank you.
Well, I thought that was really inspiring, and I hope you did too. And, after every interview I do with these amazing entrepreneurs, I like to take a moment to reflect on what I call 3 powerful gems of wisdom that you're going to learn from each person. So here's what I think you should ponder from conversations with Susanne. Gem number 1, Susanne says, find your tribe and grow through connection and collaboration. Her way is through networking, hosting bundles, and collaborating with other health and wellness experts. To me, it was just a powerful reminder that we don't have to do business alone. And gem number 2, I thought what I loved was what she talks about habit stacking, how 1 minute a day could just change everything. So building habits that stack together, and before you know it, you build a lifestyle that supports your goals. So I'd love to hear from you what habits you stack in the course of your busy week. So drop me a comment below. And gem number 3, I loved her exercise on posture. I better sit up straight here, because it was just simply sit at the edge of your chair, push your feet into the ground, be nice and tall. And that's a real good reminder for us as entrepreneurs. We just closed our eyes together and worked on those deep breaths. And as she says, notice your core. So if you value posture, go back and watch that exercise again. And I challenge you to add it to your own actions every week. Now, if you love this conversation, I'd love you to give it a thumbs up and share it with another entrepreneur who could really use some calm and inspiration today. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode of Entrepreneurs Who Work From Home. And I'll see you on the next video.